Hello, everybody. Town of Colmar Manor. Happy New Year. I'm Mayor Barrow, and I'd like to call this meeting to order. Do I have a motion to call the meeting to order?
Sure, I'll make a motion to call the meeting to order.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Mayor votes aye. For the record, it's 7:05. All council member and the mayor are present. So before we get started, I want to have a moment of silence and to first do the Pledge of Allegiance and then a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we'll have a moment of silence for our troops overseas, our police officers, those who are suffering, and those who need assistance. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Before we move into our reports and so forth, well, I want to say it was a really nice holiday season. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season and was able to enjoy family and friends. When we get to the mayor report, I'll talk about some of the things that I experienced and so forth. But one of the things that we've been doing yearly for quite some time now is do an award for Christmas decorations. Those people who come out and actually make the town look beautiful with one of the wonderful lights and so forth. And so I'm going to go through the wards, and each ward member is going to do a presentation of the awards that we had this year.
Okay.
Ward one.
Good evening. I would like to present this award to Mr. Frederick Soliver at 3816 Newton Street. He isn't here, but it's for him. Thank you.
Thank you. Ward two.
I'd like to present this award to Miller, Carlos, and Les Gomez in Ward 2.
All right. Thank you. Ward three.
Yes, I would like to present my award to the former mayor, Mayor Michael Hale and Murray Hale. They had wonderful decorations. I'm their neighbor, and it just stood up the whole block. So congratulations.
Thank you. Ward four.
Good evening to everyone. I'd like to say congratulations to Mr. G.A. Vargas on Lawrence Street. He's my neighbor. And he has a beautiful house. I did not know the house was redone, so I went down there and I looked at it. So congratulations, Mr. Vegas.
I want to thank everybody who participated. It's a wonderful time to really lighten up the town. And we'll keep you informed. There's also gardening awards that are actually given out by the county yearly for those who have beautiful gardens all year round. So we look forward to you, everybody participating in our gardening, keeping your yards. It's a yard award. Your yard's beautiful and your home's beautiful on a regular basis. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is a proclamation of something just really, really means a lot to me. I will go ahead and say that for any of you guys who may not be able to be available, I hope everybody gets to see this on our website, but Mr. Muchler will be turning 90 years old on the 20th of January. And Mr. Muchler, I'm sorry, Mr. Muchler is one of the most significant people in this town, and I honor him being here. I feel especially touched to have been able to have him as a part of my life and a part of my mentoring and a part of bringing us forward in this community and making such a commitment to the community long-standing. So I'm going to read this proclamation. Mr. Muchler, if you want to come up, I would like to read this to you. And Mayor and Council, can you come and stand behind me? Okay, this says proclamation. Whereas Mr. Edward Muchler was born January 20th, 1925, Mount Rainier, Maryland, and will turn 90 years old this year. He was raised with 4 brothers and 3 sisters, whereas Mr. Muchler started working at a very young age, delivering daily newspapers and telegrams for the Western Union on his bike, whereas Mr. Muchler served his country by joining the Army and serving during World War II in Europe and on the beach of Anzio, whereas Mr. Muchler met and married Mary Lee after returning from the war, a marriage that has lasted 66 years and is still going strong, whereas Mr. Muchler and his wife purchased their first and only home in the town of Colmar Manor in 1949, where they raised 4 children and are now the proud grandparents of 8 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. Whereas Mr. Muchler became active in the social aspects of the town, serving as the coordinator for the Teens Club, festivals for the younger residents, and currently serves as the president of the Colmar Manor Senior Citizens Club, whereas Mr. Muchler became involved in the daily government activities of Colmar Manor, serving on the town council from 1965 to 1975 and as mayor from 1975 to 1982, whereas Mr. Muchler joined the fire department in Mount Rainier with his father and brother and served from 1946 to 1948. Then the town Cottage City Volunteer Fire Department in 1970, where he has served in many offices and is actively involved, whereas Mr. Muchler has acquired a vast array of historical information regarding the town of Colmar Manor and the Cottage City Colmar Manor Fire Department. Now, therefore, we, Sadara Barrow, Mayor, and council members of the town of Colmar Manor proclaim January 13th to be a day to honor Ed M. Muchler and his continued commitment to the town of Colmar Manor.
Thank you very much.
Quite an honored life. Yes, please say something.
Happy birthday, Mr. Muchler.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday and many, many more.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you. And I thank you. And it was a great honor to get this. And I also had a great honor awarded to me in September when the Bunker Hill Fire Station hosted the County Firemen's Association banquet. And they dedicated a convention book to me, which surprised the heck out of me. So it was a great honor. And I'm honored to be here and honored to be representing the town as much as I can. I'm still very active in the fire department. I'm in charge of the hall over there. That's what keeps me so young.
Yes, thank you.
So-
Can we get a picture with Ms. Muchler? Because I am sure you couldn't have done all that stuff without the lady by your side.
That's right.
Mary? What's it feel like to be 90?
God, that's so special.
Yeah.
Hey, don't apologize. Good. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's nice. 9.
That I love to do. Thank you so much. Nothing like it. Okay, and moving on in that particular area, I want to mention that during the holiday season, Councilmember Andrea Harrison has decided to go through the process of awarding people who have served in the community and have been assisting everybody on a regular basis to move things forward for years. And this is her first year that she decided to honor people in the community. And there were 4 honorees, and I am very, very happy to say, which I want to acknowledge, that one of the honorees was in fact Ms. Council Member Lois Ann Blood for her service to the community. So we thank, and it was only 4, so we were very, very proud as a town of Colmar Manor having someone distinguished. And a matter of fact, 3 of the awardees were from the port towns. There was Marion Hoffman from Bladensburg and now Mayor Gant from Edmonston, who have been on the council for over 20 years. And Ms. Blue's service now spans approximately 22 years. So we thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Now moving on, we talk about service and longevity. It's a critical part to continuity to be able to have the ability to move things forward. One of the things that I want to say, and starting this year, as we're looking forward to moving the town forward, we're moving into a green economy, creating jobs and entrepreneurship. But a lot of folks don't know, which Mr. Mutchler does know, that there was a time in this town when it was a very, very disturbing period where the state had to come in. These are decades ago to bring order back into the town. But in doing so, there were people that had to come in to be with us to stabilize this community. And what I want to let you all know, and you know I've stated my confidence for quite a while, is that one of those people who has now spent 25 years in this town, employed in this town, as of January the 10th, on Saturday, is Mr. Dan Baden. And Mr. Baden has been a very, very key role from a fiscal responsible area, and he and I like to box. I listen to him, I'll tell you that though, but I'll box with him until we get to a great place, right? Yes. But I appreciate that very much, and I like you to know that, no matter how much we go, that I know that we're going to come to a place where we work out the details and we're happy with the ending decision. And so the mayor and council would like to actually do a presentation to you.
Oh, that's totally unexpected.
It's not a heavy-duty proclamation, but we do want to say that this is a certificate of appreciation presented to Daniel R. Baden for 25 years of dedicated service to the town of Colmar Manor, January 13, 2015.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you all.
Speech. Say something.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's been 25 years, and that's nowhere near as far as Mr. Mutchler's 90 years and 66 years in the community, but I lived here for 7 or 8 years, and I feel a commitment to the community, and I'm happy to be able to serve in the capacity that I have for the 25 years, and hopefully I got a few more left in me.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, Dan.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yep, that's totally unexpected.
And continuing that path, in bringing order and direction to the town, we have the fiscal responsibility, and then we also have our legal obligations, and we have to make sure that we stay in order with that. And recognizing, don't have to say a whole lot more, because Mr. Barr,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Barr has served now for 28 years in the town, and I do have to say, and being a part of this council and as mayorship for about 15, 16 years, almost 16 years now, I do understand the importance of these guys and what they do. So we want to give a presentation to you. It's a great way to start off the year, appreciating people. Okay, so Mr. Barr, certificate of appreciation presented to John R. Barr for 28 years of dedicated service to the town of Colmar Manor, January 13th through 2015. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Say something. Go ahead.
Say something.
Oh, no, and be short now. I know you're an attorney, so you like to talk and you talk.
I want to say thank you to Dan, to Chief Gibson, to Mayor Barrow, and council members. It's been a great ride. I hope to keep enjoying it for many more years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. You're quite welcome. Well, I also want to let Mr. Bate know in particular, as we go through the budget, it'll be fun, but according to the personnel policy, there is a monetary arrangement that goes with that as well, which would be presented in July of the following year. So we'll look forward to that.
I'll look forward to that too.
All right. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. And so I'll move on. Thank you guys to the mayor's report. Wow, I guess it's been a pretty busy season. It seems like it's been so long since December meeting, but we had all the holidays in between. We met with PGCMA and they put out their priorities, which Councilmember Jackson will report on later on. We also had the Christmas party here, which was absolutely wonderful. And, you know, I give out all my props to the Rec Council and particularly our staff here, Renee and Mr. Long. In saying that, I'd also just like to know that Mr. Long is under the weather with some medical problems, and we'd like to have everybody praying, keep him in your prayers, and think about him because we look forward to him coming back to work as soon as possible. We also had a wonderful event of the hashtag, it's called hashtag Inc.
Right hand for the left heart and hashtag Inc.
Right hand for the left heart and hashtag Inc., which fed nearly 100 people on Christmas. It was Christmas Day. And it was a wonderful event. They were able to give out gloves and mittens and socks and soap and things to people. And it was actually pretty heartwarming, but also troubling that would be so many people and under such short notice that we have so much need. So wherever you can, whenever you can, to step out and actually appreciate someone, anyone, wherever you are. It means something because a lot of people don't know how to say they need help. And I really do appreciate organizations like Left Hand, Right Heart and hashtag for stepping up. They stepped up. The volunteers that came were absolutely amazing. I'm going to give a shout out to Officer Sims, who actually took dinners across the city to people who couldn't get here. We had immigrants who were afraid to come to the town hall, and volunteers took food to them directly. So it was an absolutely wonderful event. We look forward to doing more of them. And if there are any organizations are interested in using this town hall in order to serve a larger group, we please ask people to do so. As a part of Mayor's report, I also want to mention a couple of things that haven't gone too well. I don't know if you guys got your newsletter today, but our newsletters went out the first of the month, and we apparently haven't received them yet. So we are currently, I guess, under an investigation to determine where our newsletters are. And I apologize for that, but they did leave here, and we just don't know. But there's been some major changes in the U.S. Postal Service that started January 1st, and so we're not sure we got caught in that. In terms of changes in the trash system, I do want to make another apology. We recognize that it wasn't very clear that the new bins that were sent out to you guys and delivered on the 27th of December were for recycling. Even though we put the note on the bins saying what was going to be done in recycling, the bins themselves don't have a recycle sign on them, and therefore we can understand the lack of clarity that those were recycle bins. And so we put out notes that they should have gone out again today. I know one came to my house in Spanish and in English to say that these are recycle bins and explaining what should go in them and what shouldn't and so forth. I am hoping that we did a very good, we asked Bates to do a real good cleanup because they will refuse to take the can, the recycle can, if it has if it has trash in it. And so that meant some trash cans stayed for over a week at people's houses because it had trash and not recycling in it. And so we asked them to take all today. Let's get it all clean slate, so by next week we can start where the light colored bins are recycle bins and the dark green bins are our trash bins. And the trash pickup is on Tuesday. There was also an error in that we were told that we could call up until 5 o'clock for bulk pickup on Tuesday, and that time is 2 o'clock, which was also corrected in the note that we sent out today. So if you need bulk pickup, which will be on a Wednesday, you have to call by 2 o'clock on Tuesday or sometime earlier. So we're doing more, as much as we can, to continue to put that message out there to get this clear. So anytime there's a real major change in something, I recognize sometimes it doesn't always go well, but our goal is to get it in the right place, and we're working hard. Anybody has any thoughts or suggestions on how we can actually make this process better, the one that we're on right now, we're happy to hear, ears open. So I do appreciate everybody's patience with that, and hope that it's going to run smoothly going forward. So I thank everybody so much.
I have one clarification.
Sure.
The call for the recycle or the bulk trash pickup is to Bates, not to the office here. And there is a number on that handout that went out today. So you call Bates before 2 on Wednesday or Tuesday before you need a bulk trash pickup. Not the office here.
Right. Okay. And however, if you call the office here, they'll give you the number. So you can call there just as well. Okay, council member, you have reports?
Yes. Good evening. I would like to say happy birthday to Eddie Caesar, Jeffrey Fennell, Waylon Hawkins, Melinda Mendoza, and Ed Munchler, 90-year-old in my ward. And any other January birthdays, and anyone older than 90, please contact your council member. We'd like to know who the oldest citizens are in the town. I also want to say get well to Ms. Sheeks, Ms. Stanley, and Mr. Long. I attended the 47th Legislative District Party. It was nice and many people and lovely faces. I also attended Andrea Harrison's Christmas party and received the award for 22 years of service. And it was a nice party. It's a blessing that there were no fires in town during the Christmas holidays. I'd like to thank Chief Gibson also and his staff for the patrolling that they did. I want to thank the fire department for Santa coming around. That was lovely. I want to thank Chief Gibson for Santa with the badge. The next meeting with the Neighborhood Watch will be the 22nd of January. I want to also have that with your coffee club meeting that Thursday night, 7 o'clock here at the Town Hall. And I want to say Jason in Ward 3, 3400 41st Avenue, had a lovely, lovely yard with the lights and decorations there, and that was in help with the collecting supplies for the rescue of alley cats. And I just want to say it was a beautiful job, and thank you, Jason. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ward 2?
Okay, in my ward, I'd like to say happy birthday to DeJuan Mills and Elizabeth McElvin. And then on open gym from 3:30 to 7:45, Monday through Friday. and Zumba Mondays and Wednesdays from 7:15 to 8:15, and at 9:30 on Saturdays. Colmar Manor residents with ID. Colmar Manor residents can get into the gym, use the gym and the computers for free with ID. Carter City, Bladensburg, and Brentwood, $2, and with ID, $1. All others will be charged $3 and $2 with a recreation ID. Co-ed volleyball Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7:45, and hand dancing Thursday at 6 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ward 3?
Oh, yes. Good evening and Happy New Year's. I can't believe it's 2015. Thank you for all the residents in Ward 3 has been keeping their areas cleaned, and we really enjoyed the Christmas lights that was sent out, and I know the kids enjoyed it. I just want to let you know that the American Legion is having a yard sale, which will be on this Saturday, which is the 18th, at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It'll be an indoor yard sale. There are still tables available to rent, which is $10. It's a good idea to get rid of some of that stuff that you don't need to go participate in the yard sale. I also wanted to say that tomorrow, former Mayor, Council Member Diane Fennell will be sworn in tomorrow as a delegate. Also, Jimmy Tahu, sorry, will be sworn in, and also Will Campo. So they'll be sworn in tomorrow, so we'll be attending. We want to say congratulations to them, and we're looking forward to work with our delegates for District 47. Also, if you have a youth that is in high school that's looking for scholarship, this is a great time to visit your delegate's website. Scholarships are available. Just want to make a note to the mayor and council. PGCMA is having their next meeting January the 15th, and the representative from Maryland Park and Planning will be there as our representative. And we'll also be going over what we talked about at our legislative dinner, and we'll have a list for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where's it going to be at?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's going to be in College Park.
Okay, Ward 4?
Good evening. We are Happy New Year's to everyone. We are having a cleanup starting March the 1st will be our first cleanup. We're asking everyone to try to please contact the town hall or your council member by February the 20th, so we can get a count of how many people will be available for that day, because we have to get all the supplies and everything that we need to do the cleanup in Montgomery. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
In Colmar Manor.
That's okay, you work there.
Sorry. And the Portstown CDC is looking for board members. If you want to join, please contact myself, and I can give you the information because I'm not sure when the next meeting will be. Do you know? No.
Yes.
You do. Okay. So why she's looking for that. The Portstown CDC is very important. You get to decide and help what goes on in the area. So the next meeting will be January the 27th. If it's over at the Bladensburg Shopping Center, just above Papa John's Pizza. And Black History Month is coming. We are having a program on February the 1st. We're looking forward to seeing all the residents. If you have any things that you want to donate to us, you'll get it back. We want to do a touch and feel room. So we have like a cast iron part, a cast iron. We have other little things, some little lamps that we used to use or people used back in the day, you know, to show lanterns. I'm sorry, right? Just to show the children how people live in the 50s and some in the 60s. I think they went modern by the 60s. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, I want to give my own personal shout out to our former mayor, Diana Fennell, and look forward to the swearing in tomorrow. We're really excited. She had a meeting with business people from our community just yesterday to sort of talk about things that can be done to help a small business and entrepreneurs in the community. And we really look forward to working with her and Delegate Talo Campos, and of course Senator Ramirez, and as well as our Councilmember Andrea Harrison. And so I really would look forward to you guys all being out for our Black History Month gathering on February 1st. Councilmember Epps and the rest of the Rec Council have really put a lot of energy into it. I appreciate it. Councilmember Epps, I want to tell that to you up front. It's been very organized and keeping everything flowing and together and very timely. So, good job.
Thank you.
I look forward to the after party, so we can look at it again.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to give you guys a report on the work session. Well, we actually got into a lot of business, but I want to give you an update on what happened on the work session. We had a conversation with Reggie Bagley and Judy Myers in relationship to restarting our cooking classes and the process in which we are in. And basically, it's connected now with our new application to the Port Towns Community Health Partnership. In that new application, it will include more funding for the cooking classes as well as funding for another community garden. It also includes funding for a community garden in Edmonston and the upkeep of our garden that we have now, as well as Cottage City. Our cooking club is what we've decided that we would like to have, and we'd like to encourage anyone who wants to join the cooking club. It's just like we have a garden club, we now are trying to establish a cooking club. And in the cooking club, we'll have 3 cooking classes every quarter, once a month in English, and 3 cooking classes once a month in Spanish. And you're open to attend either one of them. We just wanted to give equal opportunity for everyone to accomplish that. I will have our garden club president give you more information on anticipation of the garden. We have submitted applications to Maryland National Park and Planning for utilization of land in Ward 4, either off of Lawrence Street, Newton Street, or Newark Road, in order to establish a second community garden on that side of town. So we would have one on Ward 1 and one in Ward 4. And we'd also have, the club would actually do potlucks at the end of each quarter to show what they've learned in the cooking classes. So I'm real excited about our cooking club getting started, and I really want to put it out there. Anybody, this is a great opportunity to not just learn about nutrition and good cooking, but if you want to be a part of both the cooking club and the garden club, you learn how to use your own food in the garden and your cooking, and also to be able to show off your skills to everybody. So we might even put some competition in there to make it a little fun too. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm very excited about it. We also talked about a welcome package. There's been years now since any welcome package has gone out to the community, so we're working on putting together a welcome package that puts together some specifics of things that everybody should know about the town, as well as a couple of trinkets in order to encourage people to be more involved in the town. We talked about putting advertisements into our newsletter. We've had several people requesting to have advertisement in the newsletter. And then we also discussed the merits of church and state and costs, but we tabled that for a further discussion with our counsel, Mr. Barr, before we make any decisions on whether or not we'll be putting it in the newsletter. There was an item, we also, we talked about the shopping center. Some of you guys might be aware that the Bank of America ATM, which we're happy to have back in there, and we worked really hard to get the ATM back in after the bank left, but the sign isn't lit. And the sign not being lit is problematic, and so we've been working with the shopping center owners. They have been challenging that the planning board or the planning department did not and would not approve the sign because of the sector plan. And so we are working very hard. We got some good news this week, so we really think the sign is going to get lit. And I've been pushing very hard. I've sent notices into Maryland National Capital Park and Planning about it as well, because an unlit sign in a shopping center is actually a hazard, a crime target. So looks like we're almost to the end of that, so if anybody noticed that, we're working on it. We talked about the hall rental, watchman fees, and we normalized the fees in order to allow a rate of pay for our employees to all receive the same amount for the watcher's fee as with someone who was not an employee. And so the rates of pay were changed for that particular council, that activity. We also talked about the hall rental procedures for council members, and we also tabled that for further conversation with our council, Mr. Barr. Mr. Barr wasn't present at the meeting. It was a stormy, snowy, icy day, and so we're fine to talk about it later on. We had an update on Black History Month. We talked about utilizing the old police station as an entrepreneur resource center, and there are many things that would need to be done to the facility in order to accomplish that. The council declined to a direct participation in that process while supporting the idea itself. So I will be working with the property owners to see whether or not we can move the idea forward, but without the direct participation of the town at this time. And then we talked about community engagement strategies, and we tabled talking about the community cleanups plans and also appreciation event. And we had an executive work session related to personnel practices. And then coming out of the work session, we took a vote to approve retroactive rate increases of approximately 3% total, with differing amounts or differing percentages to individual employees, but with a total amount of approximately 3%. Any council members or anyone else have anything to add?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, there you go. Now you know what we did. So the next item on this agenda is Treasurer's Report.
There should be copies, or were copies of the December report on the table out there. Hopefully everyone got a copy. If not, you can pick one up at the front office anytime during the week. I'll give a brief overview of that report. This is for the first 6 months of the current fiscal year through December 31st, 2014. For the month of December, we had total revenues of $29,578. Total year-to-date revenues is $802,383, which the largest portion of that comes from real estate taxes, which were $607,903. On the expenditure side, by department, we had general government expenditures of $54,890. This brings year-to-date expenditures for general government to $357,901. Maintenance for the 3611 43rd Avenue building were $541 for the month and $4,457 year-to-date. And maintenance for the municipal building here were $9,089 for the month, $41,613 year-to-date. For Public Works Department, December expenditures were $21,613. Bringing the total year-to-date expenditures for Public Works to $111,078. And under the Recreation Department, we had expenditures of $4,074 for December and $25,633 year-to-date. Lastly, in the in the Police Department, expenditures for December were $27,465. Year-to-date expenditures were $194,140. On the last page of the report, you can see a summary of those departmental expenditures that I just went over. And at the bottom of that page, you can see that the cash balance at December 31st was $768,750. That's a quick overview of the December report, and ask you to accept it as submitted.
All right, is there a motion to accept the Treasurer's Report?
I'll make that motion as stated.
There's a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Okay, Mayor calls for a vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. Thank you very much, Mr. Baden.
You're welcome.
Okay, Chief Gibson?
All
Police
right.
report?
The police report for December, ma'am. We had one residential burglary in the 3600 block of 40th Avenue. We had one stolen Alder for the month at the Shoppers Food Warehouse parking lot. We had a total of 46 calls of service in the town of December. We had 7 reports written for the month. and we had 2 vehicle impounds for the month. And also, I'd like to show my appreciation everybody for our Santa with a Badge went good again on December the 12th. We supported 3 kids and 1 wounded warrior from the Wounded Warrior Project. If you guys are aware, the veterans are usually at Walter Reed Hospital in Bethesda, recovering usually from injuries from the military service. This will be our 2nd year that we've done that, so we had a great time with that. She, as well as our Wounded Warrior, and the kids had a great time at the Walmart doing their little shopping spree, as well having an IHOP restaurant here in Colmar Manor provided the food for everybody. And as far as that, I just want to wish everybody happy holidays and a happy new year, and hopefully we got a good year coming.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Chief. Appreciate it. Yes, and I appreciate you sending out the advisories as they come out.
Yeah,
That's
I've been trying to
helpful.
send the stuff out with the weather and stuff like that too coming.
That's cool. All right. Okay, so we'll go into unfinished business. We have minutes that were distributed at the December meeting, which are for October 7th, October 14th, public hearing on trick or treat, October 14th town meeting, October the 27th work session, November the 5th work session, and November 12th town meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make that motion as stated to approve the minutes for October the 7th, October the 14th, October the 14th town meeting, and October the 27th work session, November the 5th work session, and November the 12th town meeting.
Is there a second?
I second as stated.
Any discussion? Okay, call for a vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye. Okay, thanks. Got that done. Okay, the next piece of unfinished business is move of the exercise equipment from the police station. This is something that we had discussed in the December work session and tabled and decided to bring back to a vote at the last work session. So Chief, can you give us an update on what that requirement is here?
Okay, in close, there's a couple estimates. The one with the 2 estimates stapled together for Fitness Trading Company and the other one called Gym Tech Solutions are the 2 estimates that we got for moving the exercise equipment. Based on our December discussions, I advise you that we had contacted about 6 moving companies that move exercise equipment, disassembling it and all that. We were able to get 2 of them to come out and give us estimates. They actually came out and gave us estimates. You'll see the big difference in the 2 prices. And both of these estimates that we got are just for moving the equipment and as well as disassembling there at the station, because it has to come down the stairs and then bring it back here and to reassemble it again. Of course, with both companies that reviewed it, if you remember, when we had the original equipment moved, we actually had the Department of Corrections work crew move it for us back last year. Well, unfortunately, they were not professionals in disassembling the equipment and put it back together. There is some damage to some of the safety equipment or features on the equipment that has to be repaired. So when it does come here, there will be some additional costs, and unfortunately, either company couldn't give me a direct cost what that would be, but it should be minor. The equipment is in fairly good shape, and if you remember, the 2 companies they said the equipment that we have to move, if you had to buy it now, commercial, and it is commercial grade equipment, it is about $25,000 worth of equipment that we have up there. So for a few $1,000s of investment, we got $25,000 worth of equipment. So
Okay.
So that's
And
just
So clarification of the record, you have 2 quotes. One is for $19.50.
yeah. The one from Fitness
and-
Trading Company is for $19.50.
And
They're
Gym
going to
Tech.
assemble it too?
Yeah,
once they
Gym
bring it?
Tech Solutions
Yeah.
is for $4,200. Now, that's just for the, like I said, moving of the equipment, assembling and reassembling it. That does not include any of the repair costs that might be associated. Some of that won't be determined until once it's broke down, because there are some cables, if you've
But
been up
we
there
can
seeing
do it.
equipment that are
No
bent
problem.
or that
Right.
have to be fixed, so.
And because, I mean, and this is approximately about $25,000 worth of equipment,
Yes.
which we appreciate. A lot of it will be available to the residents of Colmar Manor, particularly once it gets here, which is in set up. So this is, very good
Great.
opportunity. It's a great opportunity to have it. And in clarification, your advice in having the professional organization do it as opposed to volunteers is because it is valuable equipment.
Yeah.
And it makes better sense for the safety reasons as well as.
Yeah, for liability as well, because base we didn't have at the time. At the time, we did what we had to do to move it, so.
And now we're using it
Yeah,
for-
but we're now we are
Now it's for
opening.
the public.
Yeah, for the public use, so we should
Right.
have it correctly deassembled and reassembled, so everything can be fixed, as well any repairs that have to be done, so.
Okay. And any questions non-related to actually voting on just any clarification questions? Okay, so there's 2 quotes here. The chief has said the company at 1950 is pretty much offering the same thing at 4,200. So my recommendation would be for us to take the quote from Fitness Traders at 1950. Is there a motion for us to approve
I'll make
that?
that motion.
Okay,
do-
Ward 3. A second?
I second that motion.
Any discussion? All right, we'll call for the vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye. All right. Okay, so we can move forward on that now.
Okay, hey, Mayor, I do have one question. Do you guys want to approve a certain amount as far as any repairs, or that me and Dan can work out in case there's any, because once they break it down, there might be things that have to be fixed before we, put it back together. So is there going to be a limit as far as what we want to spend as far as repairs?
Well, I don't know if we have a good understanding of what that might be.
Yeah,
at
I don't
this
know yet. I
time.
won't know until they bring it, till they come and disassemble it, move it, and then they'll give me, estimate of anything
Would
that's
they
to
be
be
planning
repaired.
to do the repairs in the same day?
Oh, yeah,
that
they do,
they're
yeah, unless the
doing it?
unless any parts have to be ordered. Now, we do have a bag full of parts that are left over from the disassembling from last time, so hopefully some of that can be put back in the correct way.
Hopefully
It's just
it's
some
not
minor
a lot.
stuff. It's some of the safety features, like the things covering for the kids putting their hands into the cable areas. Some of the stuff wasn't put back on correctly. Some of the weights were incorrectly put on there, and some of the cables have to be readjusted. But some of them are actually kinked. If you've seen some of the equipment, when you move the weight stuff up and down, some of that has to be fixed, so.
Is there a way that they would be able to do what they can and then give us a quote on
Oh,
what's
yeah.
left?
Yeah,
and
they
then
can do that,
come
yeah.
back
Mhm.
for any repairs?
Yep.
Okay, I think that would be the more
Okay.
possible way to do that. Thank you
Okay.
so
And
much.
Chief, check and see if they have warranty, like a year, maybe 2-year warranty that comes with their repairs.
Okay, I can do that, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so new business. Okay, well, starting at new, as you guys, some of you may or may not know, one of the activities of the mayor is to appoint a mayor pro temp. I've been in here for 6 months, haven't really done it, and I'll tell you why. In that we've had a mayor pro temp for many, many years. And Ms. Blue, Councilmember Blue, have been the mayor pro temp for a portion of time under Mayor Garrett, right? And for the entire tenure of Mayor Fennell as well as Mayor Hale. I was not in feeling that I needed to make a change in that position at the time unless then there was something that truly warranted. However, Councilmember Blue called me and said that she thought it would be a wonderful idea if other council members could participate as mayor pro tem and be able to take on that position of being available in the absence of the mayor and being a backup for mayor activities. And so I have made a decision as to who I would like to be our mayor pro temp going forward for a minimum of 6 months, and then we revisit, and if we're all happy, we can stay in that space, or we can make a change at that point. But I would like to, and I will need a confirmation from the council, to appoint Councilmember Vivian Jackson as mayor pro temp. And I would like to ask ask the council to put a motion forward to confirm that appointment. Is there a motion?
I motion.
All right, Ward 4, is there a second?
I second that motion.
Okay, and is there any discussion?
No.
Okay, I call for a vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
I can't vote.
Okay, Ward 4?
Aye.
And the mayor votes strongly aye. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for accepting this opportunity to serve even further. I'll be calling you. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, so we'll move on to our committee reports. Do we have a senior report by Mr. Muchler?
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Evening.
The Senior Citizens Club would like to thank the mayor and the council and the staff for the excellent Christmas luncheon they put on back in December for the seniors. And since then, we haven't had a meeting on account of the weather, Our next meeting will be next week. So that's about all we have for the seniors at this time.
All right, thank you, thank you. Okay, moving forward to our garden club, Carrie Brigzatter.
Who is taller than Mr. Munchler. Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Garden Club is starting to get ready for spring. We know we're not in spring, but we're going to work on fantasizing that it's going to come and hold on to heat in our minds. So we will be meeting this Saturday here in Town Hall from 10 to 11:30. We'll be talking about community garden assignments for people who want plots, whether people are coming back or people who are new and want to reserve a plot, because we have a few people who we know aren't coming back. So we do have some available, and that's on Newton Street. I guess we'll have to eventually call it Community Garden Number 1 or Community Garden Ward 1. But we'll be talking about that, and we will be talking about the seed exchange. We're going to take a field trip at the end of the month and go to the Washington Gardener Seed Exchange. So we have raised enough money that we can pay everybody's admission to that, and they can learn a couple of workshops and get lots and lots of free seeds. They gave us a lot to support us for our garden last year.
Okay.
So it's a great group, and it'll be a great trip. I will have to miss it because I'll be out of town, but there really is only one of me. I know there's rumors that there are many of me, but there is just one of me. And then our meeting in February will be in conjunction with the Green Team. We're going to have one joint meeting, and that meeting is going to be on February 21st. And the reason that we're not meeting on the 14th of February is we heard a rumor that that is Valentine's Day. So we thought we would not have our meeting that day. The Green Team, because I'll just transition.
Yes, go ahead. Go right ahead.
Had our first event of the year this last Saturday. We had a recycling workshop. I think everybody who came had a good time, learned a lot. We did learn that for our seniors or folks who are disabled, we have available help to come if you've got hazardous materials or stuff that should be taken to a major recycling. They will come to you and help haul that out for you. So they won't come move your bin every Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, but we do have some support actually for how to ask the folks from Bates to come pull it out of your driveway if you can't do that. So we'll be getting that word out to people. We learned a lot about the recycling center, and we have a possibility of a field trip to go see that. A lot of us think that might be a pretty interesting trip to see how everything for PG County, which I don't have my notes with me, but I was really surprised how highly rated PG County is in our recycling efforts.
Yes.
So we're number 2 now in the entire state of Maryland for the amount of trash versus the amount of recycling. So we hope to get our statistics and keep track of those and show that we're recycling more now that we have our lovely light green bins. So next month, first we're going to recycle. Next, we're going to learn to compost. And so we're going to talk about how you compost stuff from your house. So when you're cutting that vegetable, it doesn't go down the garbage disposal. It goes into a little bin to take outside. And we'll have some folks talking to us about compost bins, how to build them. We'll discuss community-wide composting and see if we have enough people who want to do that, that we could build a large composter in our community gardens where you could just drop off your scraps. So that'd be another way to do it. I personally have composted at home since I got my house. I've composted for many years. I get great, beautiful compost that goes in to amend my yard. And you don't have to haul so much stuff out in the brown paper bag because everything else goes in there. So that will be on the 21st of February, again from 10 to 12 here in the town hall. And anybody who's interested in composting should come on out. We'll also try to have somebody talk about rain barrels, because by the end of February we'll have fantasies that it's not going to be snow, it'll be rain and warm weather, and that people can take advantage of the rebate to get a couple of rain barrels. So those are our plans ahead. We've got events scheduled through the next few months, so we hope people will engage with us in the Green Team.
Okay, and is there where should people go who want to get engaged in the Green Team or the Garden Club?
They can get a hold of me. I think my email and my cell phone number are on just about every document. We sent out in the newsletter an interest in garden plot that's also got my phone number. It's 202-415-1147. You can ask the town hall. My email address is about that long because it's my name and my union's name. Okay?
Okay.
So you can find me or come on up and join us this Saturday.
Okay. Anybody
Okay.
have any questions? Oh, thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
We learned a lot about
Appreciate it.
recycling, right?
Yes, we did. And we're gonna bring them back again because the newsletter wasn't out, so we want to give people an opportunity.
Yeah, that was a gentleman from the PG County Department of Environment, Bob Reading, and he really did a great presentation for us.
Right. He sure
And you
did.
also invite them to the seniors meeting. You're
That's
thinking
right.
about that.
That's in the works.
It's in the works, too. Thank you for doing that. And I also want to say that, the main thing that I learned, I think I want to say out loud to anybody who might be watching is, what we all don't realize is that we have the ability to recycle at least 80% of what we throw away. And yet we have trash cans all over our houses, but we don't have recycle bins all over our house. So if we think of it the opposite way, get yourself a little trash can and then get yourself a big one. The bigger one, like a kitchen-sized one, is for your recycling. The little one, like a bathroom one, would be for your trash. And that way we can start to transition from putting trash into recycle, where we can be recycling. And so look very closely at the list that's been provided, both in the handout that came out today, as well as when the newsletter shows up. And keep that on your mind so that we can actually really start recycling more. As Ms. Briggs said, we are going to get the statistics from the trash company to see what our recycling numbers have been in the town of Colmar Manor, and then we're going to start charting it so that we can create a goal as to where we want to be at the end of the quarter, at the end of the half year, third quarters, and the end of the year, and start inform everybody so that, we will probably even get a kitty of something together that if we win, we'll have a lottery of some sort if we meet our numbers. So I look forward to everybody upping our game on recycling. It's very important, and so I like to see that happen. Thank you. All right, do we have any citizens? Time for any citizens' comment? If you come up, please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening again. This concerns the fire department. On Friday, December 19th, Santa Claus at the firehouse was getting ready to come out at 6 o'clock. Unfortunately, as they were getting ready to put the chair up on the truck for the Santa Claus, they got a fire call. So by the time they got back and Santa Claus got out, it was almost 7 o'clock. So we missed about 3 streets in Colmar Manor because we had to go to Cottage City. We intended to come back on Saturday when they finished everything on the other side of Rhode Island Avenue, but they ran late and couldn't get back there. But one thing of concern very much, and I'll bring this to the attention of the chief of police. When that fire truck came up the hill here, there was a car parked in front of the stop sign, almost up to the corner. There was a car parked at the driveway here. The fire truck could not get around the corner. There was something going on in this building. Took almost 5 minutes to get clearance to get that fire truck through. Thank God there was no fire around this area. So I'm calling that to the attention of the police. Also, I come home at late at night.
You turned off your mic, I think. I think you turned off your mic.
Well, I'll talk.
Just tap the top of it again, see if it's... Okay, good. Yeah, I think it's back. Thank you.
And a lot of nights I come home from the firehouse, it's late, and I see a lot of the corners, and they were supposed to have been painted yellow, but the cars are still hanging all the way up to the corner. It's hazardous for these big fire trucks to get around these corners, especially the ladder trucks. They take a lot of room, and they have to have a real experienced driver to try to maneuver it. So I'm bringing that to your attention. that something has to be done about the parking, really.
Yeah, I think that the chief has made all of the officers aware to take a close look at whether a fire truck can turn a corner as a critical matter and ticket those cars. So we're trying to be careful in a parking area, but they know that, and that's a very serious thing that they've been looking at.
But I notice a lot of times they're parked on both sides of the streets here, and it is difficult to get around.
And I'll say this because I was here on Saturday when we had a lot of events going on in here, and the watcher who was here at the time, I observed her very strongly continuing to tell people to move their vehicles, from that continuing to tell them to move it. So we may have to look at how we make sure that they move it. You know, maybe we create, because I know what you're saying. When the events are here, I see it all the time. Mm-hmm. And so when they move, so maybe we might have to impact their deposit if they leave their cars out in front, and we just let them know that that can be an impact to their deposit being rejected if those cars don't get moved. Because I saw the challenge myself.
Okay,
so
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the comment. Mr.
Mayor, excuse me. Inspector Queen,
Okay.
with Colmar Manor. We've mentioned this before, and I'd like to meet with you to explain to you what I have said, and also talking to the church next door about the proper fire lanes, and to advise them on that. And I would just, I'd like to meet with you and explain more to you about it, because I addressed that issue before.
Okay.
Okay?
No problem.
So, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other citizen comments?
Happy New Year to all. I'm Connie McLean from 39th Place. I would like to thank the mayor and council for our recycle containers. I was so excited when I saw them being delivered. We've been trying to get them for a long time, and I just want to say thank you. I would also like to thank the Green Team and Carrie for the wonderful workshop that we had in reference to recycling. I found it very informative. I've started recycling more in my home, and I am looking forward to the compost workshop.
All right.
And I'm looking forward to a wonderful 2015.
Indeed.
2015. Thank you for everything.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Any other resident comments?
Happy New Year. First comment
Your
is,
name?
oh, I'm sorry. My name is
Yeah.
Shakira. I'm from 4313 Newton Street. Speaking of 43 Newton Street, 43rd around the basketball court, that corner around, the street light goes out. It's like on a timer or something, and it stays out for the whole length of walking down that block. It's kind of scary. You don't know it's going to go out, and it goes out, and it doesn't turn off until literally you're past that block. So it's kind of a hazard. Yes. Second comment, I was just thinking about getting the word out to the community more. Thought came up, could it be possible that we put bulletin boards in maybe every ward? Like the one in the town's shopper center by the shoppers, put a little bulletin board. We can post, like you have people post on the telephone poles. Instead of doing that, we can have a bulletin board somewhere in every ward. There was one more thing, the recycle bins. Is it possible so that people can understand that they are recycling bins, since they're bigger, people aren't accustomed to bigger bins, they look like trash cans for Bates or somebody to come out and put the recycle symbol on there. I'll be willing to volunteer if we had them, just to go put them on everybody's.
Yeah. Well, but see, the X doesn't mean anything to the resident.
Right.
It means something to the trash company. But the residents are used to the emblem that means
Right.
recycling. So, I mean, I think that's a good idea. We'll check and see if Bates can maybe get us the
sticker or something like that, just to, I don't know.
So they'll
Yeah.
know.
Just
And if maybe
clear
if
it.
it's less expensive, a
Stamp?
stamp instead of stickers. You know?
Okay. Thank you very much. That was Shakira Barrow, my daughter. Okay, any other resident comments, citizen comments? Okay, without that, we are going to go into a closed session. After going into the closed session, we'll come back into the regular session. I don't anticipate us being in a long closed session. So before we go, though, I do want to, in this portion, with my tradition, does anybody have any really exciting news to say? We want to leave the room energized and excited about something happened. So if anybody got anything exciting that's happening in their life, has just or is, come up and do a shout out.
My baby girl started college next week.
Oh, wow. Well, my grandson is going to be 1 next week on the same birthday as Mr. Muchler.
All right. 19?
Huh?
19?
On the 20th. Mm-hmm.
I got a couple grandkids' birthdays in January also.
All right. What else? Come on. What you got going good? Mm-hmm. Yes.
I've got a grandchild who'll be a year older in the end of the month. All the rest are in April.
Well, I also want to mention that for whatever reason, just before Christmas time, I ran into a woman at the America's Best Wings, and I'm sitting and waiting for my wings, and this was up off of 450, and she looked over, looked at me, you know, I was being as pleasant as I could be or whatever. She was selling jewelry on the side, and I'm just happy, she felt like I was approachable, and so she asked me, would I talk to her, look at what she had. She makes her own jewelries. She has been struggling with disabilities, and she had been homeless for a while, and she starts to tell me her whole story. And I talked to her. After I talked to her, I tell her, you know, sometimes we have Port Towns Day, she can sell things or whatever. And I'm appreciating that this woman feels so comfortable telling me her story and talking to me, that I have been talking to her now for the last couple of weeks. And she inspires me every time I talk to her. It seems that I give her some kind of strength when I talk to her, and you know, I try to find ways what I can do, and there's not a lot. I try to do what I can, but I absolutely appreciate that, and I would say that to anybody. If you're on the bus, or you're in a restaurant, or you're in a car, you know, be approachable, because everybody needs people. People need people. And so when you're there, it's heartwarming to me. It can happen anytime, anywhere, and you'll have another friend. So thank you all very much for being here. And with that said, we will be going into a work session, if there is a motion to do so.
I'll make a motion to state to go into a work session. Closed session.
Closed session, I'm sorry, I said it. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, thank you all very much. We'll be going to work session.
You want to deliver these with me, or you want us to deliver? You want us to?
Yeah, not unless you care to have it put in an email.